Yo guys, how's it going? Back today for another video. Hope you're having a good day. Some changes to the background. We got Millie Rock chilling, the bee. If you saw the last video, you know the story behind that. Got Alexis Lafreniere, Program of Excellence. And today we're going to be doing a video that I really wish I had when I started off collecting and selling cards on eBay. So today we're going to walk through listing and completing the entire transaction of this Alex DeBrincat Young Guns. I will not actually be selling this specific card. Later in the video, you'll see me like when I am actually packaging and showing how to package a card for shipment. It'll be a clear-cut Wayne Simmons that I just sold, so it won't be this exact card, but for listing purposes, I will be using this Alex DeBrincat Young Guns. So we'll go through step by step how to list this Alex DeBrincat Young Gun on eBay or whatever lower end card you may have to sell. But for right now, we're going to start off fresh. Let's say you just created your eBay account. You've linked up your banking information. You'll need your transit routing number, your account number, all that jazz you can find on your online banking. It's not too complicated. You should be able to find it pretty easy. It's just like a void check. Like if your employer asks you for a void check, you can find all the information on there just so that eBay can deposit the money right into your bank account. And then, yeah. So please keep in mind when watching this video is specifically for listing lower end sports cards on eBay and selling them in Canada via Canada Post letter mail and Canada Post US postal mail. There is no tracking with these. When you're selling cards under $100, I typically don't use tracking as it becomes more expensive to ship things and so on. If you are going to sell a card that's more expensive, I could do a separate video for that. It's not too much different. It's just shipping costs more as tracking in Canada is very expensive. And I provide a little extra protection when packaging up the more expensive cards like a PSA card or something like that, or maybe like the Patrick Wall. If I was to ship that off, I would treat it differently as if I was going to ship off like the Alex DeBrincat Young Gun. So here I'm now recording the screen of my phone. The very first thing I do when I list a card is I search the card on eBay and I sort it by lowest price available plus shipping, and I look to see what the cheapest card is currently for the card I'm looking to sell, and I'll find that card and I want to price my card below that so that mine's the cheapest on the market. Typically I don't sell via auction as the prices may vary, but this way I know I'll get the exact price I'm after and it'll be the cheapest on the market, so someone will more likely buy it. So now we found the cheapest Alex DeBrincat Young Guns on the market, $40 Canadian. We're going to go ahead and start listing our own item. So to get to this screen, just go to the Sellers tab in the bottom right of eBay and click on List an Item. So you'll then be prompted with this screen asking you to type in what you're going to sell. It'll give you some current listings that relate to your item. You just want to scroll down and find one that looks good. This way you don't have to fill out all the description details. You just gotta kind of correct the previous seller's errors and maybe add in a few more things so that more people find your item. The more details you have in your listing, the more likely someone's going to see it and want to purchase your item. So just looking at these here, I usually look for one with the player's name first. That way it's the first thing the buyer sees, and right away they look at it, they say, okay, Alex DeBrincat, that's what I'm after. Boom. So then you'll be prompted with this screen. You can add your photo in. I'm going to take the photos later and walk you through how I do my photos. So for the title, I like to keep it simple. Alex DeBrincat, he has Blackhawks. He plays for the Senators now, so I will take that out. He has 2017-18 UD, which is fine. I'll probably add in Series 1 or just like, yeah, I'll probably add an S1 just so they know like what series it's from. And then the card number I usually include, 221, that's the correct card number there. And then I'll also add in some emojis at the end just to kind of catch their attention a little bit. So now we got our title figured out. We can go on to the next thing. The next thing is going to be the item specifics. Now this is the most important part, I believe, because this is how this is how the algorithm works and people are going to find your card. You want to try and fill out as many areas in here as possible. So he has all that correct. Sport, ice hockey. For condition, I usually go near mint or better just because it's a raw card and we're not too sure on the grade. Set, it'll usually give you the frequently selected set for that specific card. So 2017-18 Upper Deck is correct for this card. You can find all this information on the back of the card. I will show you a little bit later. So the player, Alex DeBrincat, that's correct as well. You can always search players. Parallel slash variety. This isn't a parallel or variety of any kind. If this was a prism card and it was a certain parallel, you put that in there. Manufacturer Upper Deck, that's correct. He had that correct. Features, this is a rookie. There's not too many other features to it. It could be considered an insert, but I'm not going to bother adding that in. You could add that in if you'd like. Season 2017-18, that's correct. League, NHL, that is also correct. Team, okay, so team, he has Chicago Blackhawks, but he's just got traded to Ottawa. You can have more than one team on this. I find this very useful. So I'm going to leave Chicago. I'm also going to add Ottawa, just so if someone's searching for Ottawa cards, they find this card. If someone's searching for Chicago cards, they find this card. And yeah, it works both ways. Autograph, not an autograph card, we'll choose no there. Card name, I'll just type in Young Guns. So if someone's searching Young Guns, this card pops up. We want as many people to see this as possible. Continuing on, card number, you just want to verify the card number on the back. 221 is correct. Type, sports trading card, that should be filled out on all your listings automatically. Signed by, we're going to leave blank. All the autograph stuff, we're going to leave blank. Year manufactured, I usually just go with the first year, so it's 17-18, so 2017 in this case. Card size, standard card size there, normal trading card size. And then we got vintage. I usually choose no to vintage, unless it's an older card, of course. I leave material blank. And then choose the language. I just go English. The only reason I do that because there are French variant cards, especially with hockey cards. This is a 35-point card. That's the standard trading card size, to my knowledge. And then custom bundle. You always want to click no unless you're, well, selling it as a bundle. Just to make sure the algorithm works properly. Insert set, I'm going to type in Young Guns again here. You don't have to, but I'm going to. What's next here? Print run, if it's like a first off the line or something, that's where you'd add it in, but this is just not too sure on the print run, so we're not going to bother adding it there. And then these are kind of random things the previous buyer added in. You don't need this stuff, so I'm actually going to take some out. Like the year, he has it in here again. We already did the year in the set up top, so I'll end up taking that out, as well as this NHL teams. We already did the team, so I'll take that out as well. And then yeah, we'll get rid of this year now. So yeah, if the previous seller has any like these random categories, I typically just remove them. You could leave them, you could add little snippets. I'm sure it doesn't hurt, but I typically take them out. And then for this final one here, UPC, always switch to do not apply for sports cards, because there's no barcode or anything when selling these online. All right, so that's all the specific details filled out. And moving on, next we have our description. So for the description, I use the same description for all my cards that don't have tracking. I just copied it over from my previous listings. So it just says, will be shipped in a penny sleeve, top loader, and bubble mailer for protection. Please note any card defects you may see before purchasing, as there are no returns. I used the wrong there, so I will fix that. And then tracking not provided unless requested at the buyer's expense. The buyer could always message me if they want tracking, and yeah. Moving on next, we have the price. Now, there's two ways to list cards on eBay. There's by auction, and then there's by just listing it like a normal price, and then people can make you offers on that price and whatnot. Typically, I don't go with auctions because auctions fluctuate. You're not guaranteed to get what you want for the card. I typically go for buy it now. And then, so the lowest card was listed at $40, so I'm going to list mine at $36.99, so it's more appealing to the eye. And I'm going to leave offers open in case anyone wants to go ahead and make an offer. And then for the shipping, we're going to click on that next. Shipping can be a little bit intimidating. What you want to do, the first thing for sports cards, we're going to go ahead and click on package details and click I don't know the package details. This way we can just choose Canada Post letter mail and type in our shipping price. It's up to you how much you want to charge for shipping. I typically go $3.99 because that factors in all the stuff I use, because I use a little bit more than the average person. I use bubble mailers, I use painter's tape, I use top loaders, I use team bags. And then for US letter mail, we want to choose that option as well. There are other options, but U.S. letter mail is the best option for shipping to the States. I charge usually $5.99 as the stamps are more expensive. But yeah, the shipping price is up to you. Obviously, be reasonable. Don't go overboard. Don't overcharge people for shipping because that will make people leave negative reviews. So there's one more thing I like to do before we go ahead and list it. I like to promote the listing. This gets way more people eyes on it. They do take a percentage, so be cautious with how much you do. I usually do 2 to 3%. And they do, eBay does take, I think it's 12 to 13% on your sale. So keep that in mind when you are selling cars on eBay. They take 12 to 13% on, and then on top, if you promote your listing like I do, you get lots more eyes on it, and they take another 2 or 3% based on your listing. And if you're having trouble filling out details for your sports card, a lot of it you can find on the back. Like you can see there, it says 1718 Upper Deck Series 1. It's got the year there, the card number. So yeah, just look at the card, try and gather as much details as you can so you can list it properly. Well, last thing before we can list our cards, we have to take a picture. So taking the picture, I recommend picking up these plastic stands I use to display my cards. They're also good for taking eBay pictures. You prop it up on a stand, get some good lighting. My lighting's not great in these pictures, but this is just an example. Crop the picture so it's just the card. You don't need too much of the background. And yeah, we're finally ready to list our card, and hopefully someone will buy it. So now let's say that your card has sold and you're ready to ship it off. I send all my cards, well, if they, unless they're like some graded card or something. For a standard card, I send it in these bubble mailers. I'll link them down below in the description. I get them from Amazon. You get 50 of these for, I think it was like a little over $20. That's not bad at all. Definitely not the cheapest way to get these. I think if you went to Costco or something, you probably find these cheaper. Also the dollar store, if you're looking to ship just like 1 or 2 cards, you can pick these up there as well. Yeah, I'll link that below. And the card I just sold on eBay that we'll be using in today's example is this Wayne Simmons Clear Cut from Upper Deck Series 2 2022. Decent card there. I sold it for $5. I had it listed at 10. I put out a special offer because it wasn't selling and I kind of wanted to move it. So it sold for $5, and we're gonna go through how I package this up and send this to the person I sold it to. So if you never sent anything through the mail before, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to want to write your name, your address, your city, your province or state, and then your postal code or zip code in the top left corner. And then underneath that, if you're sending it to a different country, you also have to add the country. So name, address, city, province, postal code, and then country. And then in the middle, you have to write the recipient's name, address, city, province, postal code, and so on. So yeah, I won't show the seller's information or my information, but yeah, just write that out along the top and write the recipient's stuff in the middle, and then add your stamp to the top right. I'll show you how many stamps I usually do. So I got a roll here of 100 stamps. These are Canadian stamps. This card's going to Canada. You can pick these up at Staples. That's where I got these. They are quite expensive. It's like $100 for this whole roll, but I will eventually use all these. If you want to purchase like a sheet of like 10 of them for like $10 or something, you can go to your post office and get them there. But in this case, we're just going to use one Canadian stamp, as that's all it should need. Put it in the top right there. All good to go. Now, if you are sending a card to the States from Canada, I have had issues via letter mail when sending cards. Like if I only put one stamp, sometimes they'll send it back. It should only need one stamp, but sometimes with these stamps, they'll send them back anyways, and I just add another stamp and send it again. And then I let the buyer know that there might be a little bit of a delay. I don't know what it is. I've talked to the post office multiple times and they don't know why they get sent back. It's just kind of a weird thing that frustrates me. So yeah, if you get any mail sent back, I recommend just adding another stamp and sending it again. If it keeps happening, talk to your local post office and try to get things sorted. Once you have your bubble mailer all ready to go, it's time to get our card ready for shipping. There's a couple things I do to it before shipping it out. Of course, it needs to be in a penny sleeve and a top loader. It's just like a basic common courtesy. Some people send them in just sleeves and tape them to random stuff, but I always send it in at least a top loader, just because it's a common courtesy and the buyer's going to appreciate it a lot more. So the first thing I do to the card is I add some painter's tape. Now note, this is painter's tape. Painter's tape comes off really easy. That's the whole point of it. You don't want to damage the top loader at all. You want the buyer to be able to reuse this top loader for something. I've had cards come to me where they use like clear tape or like masking tape or something, and then the top loader is destroyed, and then you got to rip it all off and it sticks and stuff. Painter's tape you can find at your local dollar store or something. It's not expensive at all. This whole roll is like $2, and yeah, you just add some to the top, make sure the card doesn't fall out during ship. And it doesn't need to be a lot. You can literally just rip off a little piece, like that's perfect. You don't need something too big. Just stick it on the top there for some security, make sure the card doesn't fall out, and now it won't slip out of there. And then just to take it off, all the buyer has to do, rip it off. It comes off real easy, and that's all set to go. So the next thing I do is, you don't have to do this, you can do one or the other. I definitely do one. I use painter's tape, and I use these things called team bags. It's basically just a bag that seals the card in to make sure it doesn't fall out. Like I said, yeah, you could use either or, but I like to use both just to be safe. So here's a team bag. You see there's a little slip there. Slide your card right into the team bag. I'll leave a link in the description where you can find these as well. Any like sport card shop should be able to find them. You just peel off the little plastic there, and then you seal your card off, as so. You can see there, I just stuck it on. And now it's in a team bag, it's got the painter's tape, and we're set to put this in the envelope for shipping. All right, so my information's on the front, the buyer's information's on the front. Now it's time to put the card in to the bubble mailer. So just stick it on in like that, it's fine. And then shove it down to the bottom, make sure it's all the way down. You can see it there in the reflection. Make sure it's sitting there nice and pretty. And then when you start, if this is your first time ever selling stuff on eBay, which I'm assuming it is since you're watching this video, I would recommend adding like a note. Like write them like not a personal note, but write a note thanking them for their business, reaching out, asking if they have any questions or concerns. I would normally word it like, hello, thank you for purchasing this card. If you have any concerns with the card, please feel free to contact me. And if you're happy with the way everything turned out, please feel free to leave a review. The reason for that is because when you start a new eBay account, you only have like a seller limit of about like 10 things at once. So you can only post like 10 cards at once if you really wanted. So the fastest way to get your seller limit increased is to get reviews, and not a lot of people leave reviews, but I found with these notes, I was getting a lot more reviews, and I was able to increase my seller limit a lot quicker. So I don't do it as often anymore. I'm not going to do it with this card, just because it gets to be a lot writing out handwritten notes for every single card. But yeah, definitely recommend it at the start if you want to increase your seller limit. Yeah, so then once you got your card in there, once you got your note, if you so choose to throw it in there, just go ahead, peel the adhesive strip off, and then fold it down just like so, and then crease the top, make sure it's secure. And you don't have to do this, but I also add some clear tape. Just stick it on there just to make sure it doesn't come open. It shouldn't come open, you don't have to do that. I don't always do it, but yeah, that's all ready to be mailed to the buyer. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching today. Let me know if you have any other questions. Once again, I'll try and leave links to all the supplies I used in the description. If I forgot anything, leave a comment, let me know. If you're wondering where to buy something, yeah, make sure you check out my eBay if you're interested in anything on there. And yeah, please like, subscribe if you want to see some more content. Leave a comment what you guys want to see on the channel next. And yeah, take care. Have a good one.